he just didn't fit in. He was not a civil servant. And so he had a pretty rough time until we found the double helix. I mean, they had to borrow money, he had to deal with the child, and they made a pretext of drinking wine and doing it, but success really came just in time. Okay, so that's my comments.
I have one very quick question, Jim. It's Watson and Crick, isn't it? Is that because you guys don't know the alphabet? I mean, how did you determine the order of authorship?
I have two memories. One, I found the bass pairs. So, and second, it was really my problem. I brought the problem when Francis helped. Then the mysterious thing is why our second paper, which was entitled The Genetic Implications of the Double Helix, which we say how the strand is separated. My name was first again. And I have a big feeling that for that one, we flipped a coin.
Lucky Jim.
It came out. And the only paper where Crick's name came first was a sort of technical description of the model, which I wrote in July of 1953, because Francis was finishing his thesis. But that came out as Crick. And Francis gave me credit that I actually understood what I was writing. Because I said, I never been trained to write that thing, but I had learned quite a bit about helices through looking at tobacco mosaic parts. So I was really, which I had the idea that they protein subunits were helixly arranged, and that would explain the pattern. And by tilting the fiber, it came out nice. So I had but I spent the entire fall worrying about sexuality and bacteria. And that was partly because there was nothing we could do. We didn't have the photographs. And, if we were morbid, we were worried that Paul would finally do something. Which he did in a spectacularly bad fashion, which none of us have ever at that time had courage to say, how would you make a hydrogen bond holding these phosphates together when it could only exist at pH 1? So he proposed something which was as if his brain really was fuzzy. And
Jim, did you talk to him about it when you were at Caltech?
no, of course not. You don't. He was the age of my father, so you don't ask an older person why he made a fool of himself. I mean, often, someone will say, well, what was in my mind when I was doing it? But mine has never did, except the moment he saw the structure, that's not in the movie, he was coming to Europe and came to Cambridge, saw the structure, and said, you're right. So it was just too obviously right. And so now people say, did we realize, how important it was? Yes. But, until 5 years later with the Messelson-Stallman experiment and with the Kornberg counting of DNA and the test of, that completely, showed the change ran in opposite directions experimentally. And, it was just as good a proof as you could get. And at that stage, And